evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. Welcome to this exclusive fortnightly session from basics to breakthroughs how coding with Python can shape your career, specifically tailored for students from grade 3rd to 12th. It's a pleasure to have each of you join us today. I'm Aniket Arora, your moderator for this session, and I'm honored to guide you through today's exciting and insightful topic. Before we delve into the content, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for being here. Your participation truly enriches this gathering and elevates the experience for everyone involved. In today's session, we have our key speaker, Ms. Kavya Armada, coding trainer. She has more than 3 years of work experience as a coding trainer, and currently she teaches advanced programming language to school students. Today, she will lead this workshop on from basics to breakthroughs, how coding with Python can shape your career, where she will be talking about introduction to coding, why learn to code. Learning coding has no age barrier. Basic programming concepts, types of programming language, what we can do with coding, career path using coding, making a choice in career. This workshop is designed to equip students with a deeper understanding of these essential concepts, preparing them to contribute meaningfully to the future of science and technology. So let's get started on this journey towards transforming our lives through the power of Python coding. Feel free to ask questions and share your experiences as we go along. Your insights and curiosity will make this session even more valuable for all of us. For those of you new to our platform, I would like to mention that CAMP, the Knowledge and Awareness Mapping Platform, is not just an initiative, it's a commitment to bridging the gap between education and practical application. Our mission is to cultivate a scientific mindset among students while nurturing their hidden talents. I would like to mention that apart from these online knowledge sharing sessions, CAMP also organizes various quiz competition as well as scientific excursions for students. The excursions provide the students with a unique opportunity to delve into the world of science, technology, and innovation. They are aimed to instill a passion for scientific exploration and discovery within the students. Don't miss out on the opportunity to visit various prestigious labs and organizations like the CSIR, ISRO, DRDO, and many others. If you would also like to participate in such excursions and get a chance to explore, discover, and engage with various scientific disciplines in real-world setting at various eminent CSIR laboratories or research organizations in India, then do check out the link in the chat box to learn more about how you can participate. For any support, you can even get in touch with our team through the given helpline number in the chat box. For any further information or resources, please visit our website or contact us at the given number. Stay connected for more such enlightening sessions. Well, without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Kavya to begin our session. I encourage all of you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your thoughts during the session. Your engagement is crucial to making this a fruitful and dynamic session. Please, Ms. Kavya, can we have you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Okay, so great. So, hi everyone, how are you? So, if you're well, you can give the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. Or you can write it in the chat box. How are you? Yes, you can just put it
I'm
in the chat
receiving
box.
yes. Yes, I'm receiving in my direct chats actually. They're fine, all good.
Okay, great, great, great then. Okay, so in today's class, we are going to learn one of the exciting concept, that is coding, right? So I hope you know what you mean by coding. So basically coding means it is the language, okay? So as we speak a particular language, it may be Hindi, it may be English, or it may be Telugu, Tamil, any language, okay? So why do we use these languages? We use this language to communicate, right? So the same way, the computer can understand the language which is called coding, okay? And basically, we are going to see here how we are going to use the coding and what are the advantages of using the programming. And also, we will make sure that how we can write it. We will just see to that how we can start writing with the programming concepts. Okay. And let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope I can just, I have shared my screen. Aniket sir, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. Okay. So great. Great. Okay, so in today's class, let's understand about how coding can shape your career. Okay, so first of all, let's understand what is coding. Basically, we know that the technology base is only the coding. Okay, so in these days, we can see there is so many technologies we will use. For example, you can take it as Zoom. Now you're using it now, right, for the meeting. So the same way, we are going to have the other apps as well. For example, WhatsApp, Instagram, or any apps which you'll use for study, and in YouTube. So these are the some of the apps we can take an example which is made by programming. Okay, or we can also call it as coding. So these are the some of the example which is made by coding. And the same way, we can see there's a lot of things which is used in our environment, right? So that is, for example, we can see it as ATM machines we have. In the first, I can just take the example of bank. So in the older generation, the bank was like there'll be so many peoples will be there, so we have to go to the bank, and then there only everything should happen. But not now, it's not like that, right? So now you can just go to ATMs and you can take the money, or you can do the Google Pay, or you can do the Phone Pay. So using this, you can just do it, right? So these are the some of the example. Okay. Now let's learn why we should learn coding. Okay, so basically coding is not just a language, it is also a skill. Okay, so by learning this, you also going to learn some of the particular skills. Okay, so it is like a bunch of skill. You can take it as a problem solving skills, or you can take it as a math skill, or you can take it as a creativity. So these all of them in comes under coding. Okay, and along with this, a main question comes, that is, learning coding is beneficial for students. And sometimes it will be a question also. Is this is learning coding in early age, is it good? Or is there any benefit by using that, right? So these are the some of the benefits you can just see here. So 10 reasons why the kids should learn coding. Okay. So basically, the first thing they're going to learn about the math skill. So basically, what do you mean by math skill? So they will understand how to think logically. For example, they will start learning programming. So they will understand it how they can think logically and how they can correct it. Because programming is basically writing, and if there is any mistake you have made it, it will be highlighted. So that means what? The student will be start thinking what will be the next step. Okay. So because of that, the student have that particular thinking skill to perform the next step. Okay, so that is the first skill. And also they will understand how they can improve the writing skills. So basically writing skills, for example, when you write the programming, so you will understand by reading the questions, like how you can logically divide that into different parts. So basically you will understand how you can write a particular program in a systematic manner. And also, by learning coding, they will also understand about the creativity. So basically, some students, they'll be eager to learn about artistic manner. That means they like to draw or they like to do painting. So they like these way. So for example, they can just do that also using coding, because coding is not just writing a programming. They also, by writing, they will understand or they will give some ideas how they can do it more creatively. And also, by doing this, they will be more confident, because whenever they start learning this, they have that eager to learn more, because they will be more excited to learn it, so that they will get the confidence. And also, they will just understand how they can just communicate. So by just learning this, they will also learn about the communication skills, and also it will empower them, because basically they will learn the concept of coding. So in that, they will be pretty sure that what and all things can be added. And also, this is a life skill. It is not like you will learn it today and you will forget it. No. So you will understand the logic. Once you understand it, whenever it is needed, it will help you. And also, one more, the main thing, that is the career preparation. Because nowadays we can see there's so many we have competitions in the careers, right? So whichever field you go, the technology takes the main role. So we should have some knowledge about the technology, and then only we can just move forward with any particular careers. So because having the knowledge with the technology is very much important. Okay. And here, as you can see, these are some of the basic programming concepts are given here. That is variables, loops, if else, functions, arrays. So these are the some of the example. We see this in deep when we are writing with the programming. Okay. And let's understand types of programming languages. Okay. The programming languages are divided into three types. That is low level programming language, medium level programming language, and high level programming language. Okay. And firstly, in the low level programming languages, we are going to use with the binary code. Okay. So the binary code means we are going to use with the 0 and 1. As the name tells, binary, that means 2. So we can use only two numbers here, that is 0 and 1. So using this, we are going to do the programming. Okay, that is low level languages. And same way, we have improved with the medium level language. So that is assembly language, we can call it, or C, C++. So these are the languages which comes in the medium level language. Okay. And nowadays we are going to use it, that is the high level languages. Okay. So as you can see here, we have COBOL, Pascal, Python, Java, HTML. So these are the some of the example for high level languages. Now, using this, you can just observe that you have plenty of career options. Okay. As you can see here, we have coding, content management and testing, user setting, analytics and response design, mobile development, web development, and plenty of options we are going to have it. These are the some of the example which you can do it using the programming. And in today's class, let's start learning about one of the high level programming, that is the Python program. Okay. So basically Python programming, we are going to use for these all applications we can create it. As you can see here, we can do with the image processing application, and we can do 3D CAD application, audio and video based applications. So these all things we are going to create it. Okay. So these are the some of the examples are given using the Python programming. So in today's class, let's understand how we can just use this Python program. Okay. As I told, we are going to learn about the basics of variables, loops, and if-else conditions. So let us just start with learning that. So let me just stop sharing my screen. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so basically this is one of the platform where we are going to use it with the Python program. Okay, so let me just show you how you can just open this. So you can just search it as, just you have to go to Chrome. Students, you can do it together. So you can just go into Chrome, or you can just search it as Google Colab. Okay, and you can just click on enter, and you can just click on welcome to Colab. Okay, so this is one of the platform where you can use it to write the programs, and you can just click on new notebook. Okay, so this is the first step. You can just do it. You just have to go to Chrome, Google Chrome, and just you can just search it as Google Colab and click on the first link. So it is going to open in this manner. Okay, so let us just start writing with a simple program where we are going to write it as particular message to display. Okay, let's see how we can display a message. Before that, so as you can see here, this is called the workspace. Okay, where you're going to start writing your programs is called as the workspace. And also here there is a button. Can you see it? So this button is called as run. So basically why we are going to use it? Whatever the program you will write it, we should get a particular output, or we can call it as result. Okay. So to get the result, you're going to click on this particular icon. So let me just start writing with a simple code. So let me write print. Let's open the bracket, and in double quotes, let me write it as hello world. Okay, so as you can observe it, so first of all, I can tell that Python is the easiest learning programming language. Okay, because it is easy to write and also to understand. So we will also call it as easy learning programming language. Okay, so first of all, you have to write print. Along with that, you can just see there is a parenthesis, and then you have to write it as hello world. Okay, and here once I click on this run button, you can just see at the bottom it is allocating. First you can just observe it, it is connecting to the Python 3. Once it is connecting, it will initialize and also it will run it. Okay, so this is the process. Always when you write the program, it is going to take up. Okay, can you observe it here? Whatever the message I written it inside the double quotes or inside the bracket, that has been displayed. Okay, so this is the way how we are going to use with the print concept. So basically print is used to display a message. Now for example, I'll remove this double quotes, and if I just click on run, so you can observe it, I am getting an error. Okay, so you can just see that error message is going to show up. Okay, so now we will get a question, that means some mistake we have made it in the code, right? So whenever you write a particular code, if it is wrong or any mistake happened, you're going to get a particular error. Okay, so this way you can find out what is the mistake you have made. Okay, so what you will understand here, how you can correct the errors. Okay, so how you can correct the errors and you can move forward. So this is also you're going to see it. Okay, and you can just see the first error which is coming up, that is the syntax error. Okay, so basically syntax error means when you miss with any of the brackets or double quotations or any of these, if you miss it, you're going to use with this, you're going to get the syntax error. Okay, so always you have to write it inside the double quotes, and if you put the double quotes and if I run it, so you can just see that error will be removed. Okay, and now let's understand about variables. Okay, so before understanding about variables, can anyone tell me, like, do you know what you mean by variables? Can you just put it in the chat box? In general, is anyone knows what you mean by variables? Or you can tell me about data. What do you mean by data, or what you mean by variables?
If you'd like to answer, please, can you raise your hand?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You
Ashik,
can
what
just
happens is,
answer it.
Kabe, all the students are actually on mute, so they cannot speak.
Okay.
So if you want to answer, please can you raise your hand? So we'll unmute you and you can respond.
Yes. Can anyone answer it? What you mean by variables, or you can answer it, what is data?
Or you can even write it in the chat.
Yeah. Can anyone tell me what is sequence? The easy one. What is sequence? Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, so first of all, I explained you about variables, right? So now the question comes, what is variable? Basically, you can take the example of a box. Okay, so there is a big box, and inside that, for example, my question is, what and all things you can keep it inside a box? So what and all things you can keep it? You can keep the books, right? Or you can keep some stationaries, or you can keep some clothes, correct? So these are things you can keep it inside a box. So now what is a box now? Box is a storager, right? Same way you can take the example of a fridge. So inside the fridge, you can keep some of the things, right? You can keep the fruits, vegetables. Why you keep it inside? So that it will be safe inside, right? So which we can use it the next day. So the same way it works as a storage, right? So same way in computer language, we will use variable to store the values. Okay. So if you want to store any particular values, we have to use the variables. Okay. Let me just take an example. So let me just write it as name. Okay. Now, for example, I want to store the name of any of these students. Okay. So how we can store it? We can just write a one particular name. For example, I just wrote it as a name. Okay. And I will just put equal to, and here I'm going to write with a name. So you have to put a double quotes. Why you're putting a double quotes here? Because you're using the alphabets. So whenever you use the alphabets, you have to use the double quotes. Okay. So this is the way how we are going to write it. So let me write it as camp here. Okay. Just the example I have just given. So you can just wrote it name equal to, inside the double quotes you can write your name. Okay. So I just wrote it here as camp. Okay. Now if I just print it, so I'll just print this message. So let me write it as print. Okay. And here I am going to write it as name. You can just observe it. What is the difference? Okay. And now you can observe it. In the first line, we wrote it as hello world. And here you can just see that I wrote it as name. What is the difference here? The difference is you can see the double quotes, right? So this is the difference. You can just see it. But you can observe it now. I'm not getting any particular error. Okay. So for example, if I just run this, you can just observe it, the camp is displaying, right? So you can just see that nothing is displaying as an error here. Okay. So only you can just observe that the camp is displaying. Okay. So here you can just make a note of it. That is, here I just wrote name equal to camp. That means it is a variable and camp is a variable name. Okay. Name is the variable and camp is the variable name. Okay. So when you just use this and when you just write it as print name, that means it is taking the variable. Okay. Whatever the variable you have written, it is taking that particular variable name. So because of that, you can observe it. No error we are getting it. Okay. So this is the first thing. And now for example, here instead of camp and instead of name, I will write it as age. Okay. So if I write age, obviously it should be a number, right? So age we will tell it using the numbers, right? So we have to write the numbers. So let me write it for example 10. Okay. So age is 10. So what I should do here, here also I will call it as age. So that whatever the value of the age, it will be written on the screen. So you can see the age value, we given it as 10. So you can just observe that the 10 is displayed. Okay. And here you have to learn one more thing. So let me just show it. Let me add here hashtag. So basically it is used to write the comment. Okay. For example, sometimes we will be not able to understand why we are going to use this particular line. So that time we can use with a comment so that in the later when you see it, you will understand why we are using it. Okay. So let me write it as variable. Okay. So in variables, we are going to have different types of variables. In that, the first one you can see, I wrote it as age equal to 10. What is 10? 10 is a number, right? So that is the first one is the number, okay? Or we can call it as integers. So let me write it as integers. And then we are going to use with the alphabets, okay? The alphabets, and also we are going to use with the special character. Now what do you mean by special character? We have plus, minus, multiply, division. So these all we will call it as characters, okay, or the strings. So let's write it as string, okay. And we are going to use with the one more variable, so that we are going to call it as boolean, okay. Basically what you mean by boolean? Boolean means it tells a sentence is true or false, okay. For example, whatever you write it, it tells that whether that whatever is written, it is true, okay. For example, whatever we try to write it, and it will checks that. For example, 9 is greater than 6. Whether it is true or false. Yes, right? The 9 is greater than 6. So it is true. Okay. So this is the way how we are going to use with the boolean. Okay. So this is how we are going to use with the variables. So we have learned here two concepts. One is how we can display a message in the output screen. So that you can just observe it in the first line. So we wrote it as print, and also we wrote it as hello world. Okay. So basically this is used to display a message. So whatever the message you write it inside, it is going to display in the result screen, or we can call it as output screen. Okay. And also here you can just observe it. The first one we have seen it, that is the variables, how we are going to make use of the variables. Okay. And remember first one thing, that is variable is used to store the values. Okay. If you want to store anything, you will use a container, right? Same way here, if you want to store any particular values in program or in coding, you are going to use with the variables. Okay. So let's move on to the next part. Okay. So for example, I hope you have seen some of the chatbots, or you have seen some of the robots, right? So in the robots, you can just see that whatever the instruction you give it to it, and automatically it start working. Or you can take the example of any particular device. For example, in your phone, you will be having like a Google Assistant. If, for example, if you open that and if you tell, for example, how is the weather today? So it will give you the entire weather prediction. Okay. So I think after this class, you can just check it. So if you didn't check it, you can just go to Google and you can just see the Google Assistant, and you can just ask a certain questions. So if any questions which is related to technology, or any question related to weather or any informations, you can just ask a question. So you automatically you will get a certain like responses. Okay. So how it is going on? So this is going on because of the coding. Okay, so a certain coding will be added inside the robots or the chatbot which you're using it. Okay, now for example, let's first we will just start writing with a simple code for a chatbot. Okay, let's try to create a chatbot. Okay, to create this we have to learn one more concept, that is called input. Okay, now what do you mean by input? We learned how we can display a message, right? By printing a message we can display it. Now how we can take the values, so that also we have to see it, right? To take the values, I am just going to write it as input. Okay, so I just wrote input, and here for example let's write it as enter a number. Okay, so just a question, so you have to write it inside the double quotes. You can just observe it here, there the red line comes if you don't enter it. Okay, so here you're going to just write it as input enter a number. Okay, so what it means, when you run the program or when you see it in the output screen, you have to enter a number randomly. Okay, so let me just click on it. So you can just see a outline. So enter a number with a box. Okay, so that you can just enter a number. So you can just observe it, there is a box where you can just enter any number. Okay, because that was the question, right? So here, but you can see that once I enter, so you can just see that it is displayed as 1500 because I have given the number as 1500. Okay, now for example I want to use this. So how we can use this? Now let's go to the next line, and here before input I am going to use it as a variable. You can take variable name as your wish, like any variable names you can just take it. Like for example, any alphabets you can write it from A to Z, or any word also you can just write it. So let me take an alphabet here. Let me write n equal to. Okay, now n is the variable, and whatever the number you enter it, right, so that will be stored inside the n. Okay, now how we will get to know whether it is stored or not? We have to go to the next line, and here let me write print, and you have to print the n. Okay, let me print the n, and if I just run it, so let's give a number like 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and I just click on enter. You can just observe it, 1 2 3 4 5 is stored inside n. Okay, so this is the way how you're going to use with the input command. Basically we are going to give the values to the computer. Okay, because we have to give some instruction, right, to computer to work. Correct. So for example, if I just tell the computer to do it in my language, it will be not able to understand. We have to give, or we have to click, or we have to give some message, right? Then only it is going to work. So same way, here I have just given an example of enter a number. Now let's take, we have to add the two numbers. Okay, whether a computer can do it, adding two numbers. Okay, let's check that whether computer can add the two numbers. Okay, so similarly we can do with the other operations. So let me just write it here. So you can just, instead of here enter a number is there, so I'll just write it as here n1, because to add we need two numbers, right? So I just wrote n1 equal to input I can just write it as first number. Okay, so where it is going to input with the first number. Now same way I need one more number, so I'll write it as n2. Okay, you can write it as however you need, but you can just write it as n1 and n2 here. And let me write it as input, and here enter a second number. So you can just write it as enter a second number, so that it is going to enter with the two values, first number and the second number. Okay, and once it is enters, what is the next step? We have to add it. We have to add the both the numbers. Okay, for example 5 plus 3, if I do it, the answer should be 8, right? the computer should tell the answer as 8. So to do this, you just have to print it here, n1 plus n2. Okay, you are just adding the n1 and n2. So if I just run this, okay, so you can just observe it is going to ask with the first number. So for example, I'll write it as 10. And once you finish that, it will ask with the second number. So you can just write it any random number. So I'll just write it as 5. So if I just click on run, so what will be the answer? Can you guess? Can you guess what will be the answer? I have to add the 10 and 5. Okay. So when you add the 10 and 5, so I know that you are very well in maths. So it is 10 plus 5 is 15, right? So I'll click on enter so that you can see I'm getting it as 105 as the answer. Can you see it? Can you see the message? Okay. So what happened here? So it's just joined the values. Can you see it? Why? Because I have given it here as input. You can just observe it. Okay. So what it did, if you are not specifying whether it is the integer or whether it is a string or whether it is any other data type or any other variable, then it will take it as a string by default. That means it will take it as an alphabet or the special character or the numbers. Okay. But here we want to only use the numbers. So what we should do it, before int, we have to just specify it as int. Int means what? It is the keyword, we'll use it for integer. Okay. And open the parenthesis, and here also you have to close the bracket. Open the bracket, and here also you have to write the same way. So let's write int. Okay. And here also we have to close the bracket. Now let's run it. You can just observe that 105 was I was getting. So let's write it 10 and 5. So now you can see there is a magic. So it become 15 now, right? So initially when I did it, I was getting 105 as the answer. So that time what happened? It is just added. Okay, that means together it wrote it. Okay, addition didn't take place. Only what is the word of n1 or what is the number of n1 and number of n2 is written together. Okay, but here you can observe it, n1 and n2 are added. Okay, so previously it not done because it is not a number. Okay, it is called as a string. If you're using it as a number, then obviously you have to write it as int here. Okay, only if you write it as int, it specify that it is the number. Okay, if you're not specifying it, you can see you are going to get it as 105. Okay, now can anyone guess? Now for example, I want to do the subtraction. Okay, I have to find the difference now. So how we can do it? Can anyone guess it? How we can do or how we can find with the difference? Can anyone guess it? You can put it in the chat box. Can anyone guess it? How you can just do the difference? Addition, I told it, right? So the same way you have to do the difference. So what will the difference you have to do it? Any guess? If you know it, you can raise your hands also. To find the difference, so you can see to find to add and to find the sum. So I have used it here, plus n1 plus n2, right? So what you have to do it for the difference then? So it is easy as plus, you have to change it as minus. Okay, instead of plus, you just have to change it as minus. Only that is the changes. Okay, so here if I just run it, and here I'll write it as 10, and if I write it as 5, so you can observe that the answer is 5. So we know that 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay, so you can just observe this. This is how the calculator works. Okay, the calculator programming works in this way. So whenever you try to use the calculator, so you will enter the first number, then you will click on the uh, sign which you want to do it, whether plus, minus, multiply, division, right? And then you will choose the one more number, and then you will click on equal to. There is a particular code also there in the calculator, right? When you calculate it, I hope you all use the calculators, right? So in the calculators, first you will write the first number, and then you will write the sign, whether it is plus, minus, and then you will write one more number and you will click on enter, right? So whenever you click on it, you're going to get the result. Okay, so the same way here also we have used with the plus, minus, multiply and division. So whatever you want to do it, you need here the at least two numbers, right? So more than that it is there, you can do it. So you can add the numbers like 1 plus 2 plus 3, so that you can add it. So at least two numbers should be there. Okay, so this is the way how you're going to create with the calculators. Now, same way I can just use this print message. Sometimes you'll be having a question that how many times we can use the print message. Okay, how many times you can display any particular messages. Okay, now for example, I want to display this multiple times. So you can just observe it, and just whatever I want to display it, I can just select it and I just copied it. Okay, otherwise we can also write it also. So only here I'll make a changes. Instead of minus, I'll change it as plus. Okay, and also here instead of minus, let it be the second one is minus, and the third one, let's keep it as multiply. So we're using it as a star, and then we are going to use it as a divide. Okay, so you can just observe it. So we have only two values here. Using that, I am going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, and if I just run it, and I can just give the value, let's change the value to 6 and 5. So you can just find the answers here. Can you see it? First one is 6 plus 5 is 11, and 6 minus 5 is 1, and 6 into 5 is 30, and 6 divided by 5 is 1.2. Okay, so you can just observe it here. I got the float value. Okay, so this is called as decimal value. We also use it in the program. We will call this as a float value. Okay, float means the decimal value like 0 0.1, 5.5. So these are called as decimal values. Okay, so this is the sum of the examples which you can just see it. Now same way, we can just see like for example, when you go to any particular place, they will ask your basic informations, right? So basic information like your name, your age, and for example, your blood group or your address. So these are the some of the things they're going to ask it. So in the school also, when you just when they create your ID cards, they will just add these all informations, right? The name, which class you are studying, and your parents' name and the parents' contact number. So these all things will be added. So the same way we can create it here also. To create this, we just have to use it as a variables. For each of these sections, we have to use it as a variables. Okay. So let me write it here. Name equal to, and here we have to take an input from the user. Basically, what is input? The user means we. Okay. So we should give a value first, and then only the computer takes that particular value. So to take that, so we should use it? We should use it as a input. Okay. Once you write it as input, in double quotes, I'll just write it as enter your name. Okay. So you will just write it, enter your name, and here I'm going to print the message along with the name. Okay, for example, let me write it as print, and here I can just write it as a message. We know that if you want to write a message, you have to use the double quotes, and if you are using the variables, then no double quotes. Okay, directly you can just write it. So I'll just write it as hi. Okay, So you can just observe it here, and I'll just put comma, and here I'm going to write it as name, the variable name. Okay, and here let's click on this run button. So you can just observe it. I'll write it as camp, and I'll just click on enter. Okay, and here you can see name is not defined. I'm getting it. Why? Because here you can see I have used here the capital letter N, and you can just see here I used as a small letter n. Okay, so basically it is a case sensitive. Python is a case sensitive. That means you have to write the same way how you wrote it on the first line. So that means here you wrote it as name with N capital, and here also I should write the same way. If I don't write it, you can just observe it. Name is not defined. So it is not at all taking that particular value. Okay. So I'm going to click on this N, and I'll just erase it, and I'll just put the capital N. Now let's run it, and let's give the value as camp, and I click on enter. So you can just see that hi camp message is going to be displayed. Okay. So this is the way how we are going to use a print message or any message along with the variable. Okay. So same way I can just write it for the age. Okay. So I'll just write age. Can just write it equal to, and we know that what is age? Age is a number, right? So as I told, when we are doing the addition, we have to use it as an int. Okay. So let me write int, and here let's write it as input, and also I'm going to open the brackets in double quotes. You can just write as enter your age. Okay, so you can just write it as enter your age. So that means that is the second question. You can just see that the second question I have just written it as enter your age. So same way I have to print the message. So I'll write it as print, and here, so you can just write it my age is, and here after the double quotes, same way how did it for name, the same way we have to write it as age. Okay, now when you run it, the first question will be name, so I'll write it as camp. Okay, and the second question will be enter your age. Okay, for example I can just write it as 20. So you can observe it, my age is 20. So whatever the age or the name I write it, so that is going to be displayed on the screen. So this is the way how we are going to use with the print variables, and also we have used with the input command. Okay, now let's learn the one more last thing. So that is we are going to learn how we can find a number is greater or smaller. Okay, now for example we have 5 and 9. Okay, so we have 5, let's take a number 5, and let's take a number 9. So if I ask with you which is the greater number, so you can tell easily, right? So 9 is the greater number, correct? And 5 is the lesser number. And same way if I ask with the computer, will that be able to answer it? Okay, so that we have to check it now, whether it is able to answer it. It will be able to answer it once you write the coding. Okay, same way in the Chrome or in the Google, if you just search it, like for example in 5 and 9 which is greater, so it will show you the result, right? And it will show you the result as 9 is greater and 5 is lesser. So same way here also we are going to use it for programming. Okay, so let's see that. So let me write it here. Let's take two numbers. So let me write it alphabet A. So I'm taking one more alphabet now, that is A. So let's write A equal to, and obviously I am checking which number is greater. So which variable I have to use it? Here you're going to use it with the number. Okay, when you want to write a name or like for example name, address, then you're going to make use of the string. Okay, otherwise you're going to make use of the numbers. So let's write it A equal to, and I'll just write it as, for example you can directly also write it. Let me write it like 10. Okay, and or else you can use the input command. Let's write it input enter a number. Only that is the difference. Okay. So and I'll write B equal to 6. Okay. A is 10 and B equal to 6. Now I have to check it which number is greater. Okay. To check this, we have here the condition. Which is the condition? The two conditions we have. So whether the given number should be greater than the other number, or it should be less than the other number, or it should be equal, right? So we have three options here. Three choices we have. First one, it can be greater. Second one, it can be lesser. And if it is not greater, if it's not lesser, obviously it should be equal, right? So let's check that. To check it, we are using with the if condition. Okay, so basically here we are going to use with the if condition. So if means it is used to make a choice. When you have more than two choices, then you're going to make use of the if condition. Okay, I'll just write it if A is greater than B. Okay, what it means? What is A? A is 10, right? Yes? Yes. Okay, one second. Aniket sir, can you please unmute daffodils?
Yes,
Huh. Yeah, can you please unmute yourself? You have any question?
Daffodil, do you have any question? You can unmute yourself. Okay, anyone else? No.
Okay, great. Okay, so if a number is greater than B, okay, so we are just checking that if a number is greater than B, that means 10 is greater than B. B is 6, okay? Whether 10 is greater than 6? Yes, right? So if it is yes, I can just write it as print. So in double quotes, I can just write it as, for example, we know that it is 10 now. So I can just write it as 10 is greater. Okay. So this will be the message I am going to display. So if it is not greater, for example, 10 is not greater than 6, or if any other number I'll add it. So I'll make it like 5 is greater than 6. No, 5 is not greater, right? So that time we'll add the else message. Else means if the first condition or first choice is not true, then whatever the default message that is going to be displayed. So I'm going to add it as a else, and here I will just use it as 10 is greater is there, so I can just write it as 10 is lesser. Okay, only that is the changes. Whatever the message you need, you can just display it. So you can just see now 10 is greater, it's displaying because we have given here the greater value because 10 is only the greater one. For example, I'll change 10 to 0. Now if I just run it, you can just observe it 10 is lesser because 0 is greater than 6 is not true because 0 is less than 6, right? So this is the way how you can find out a number is greater or number is lesser. Okay. So these are the some of the concepts which you have learned today. Okay. These are some of the basic concepts of programming. First one you learned about print, and then we learned about variables. Basically variable is used to store the value. Okay. It can be a number, it can be an alphabet, or it can be a special character. So anything. So which you're going to store it using the variables. And then we learnt about input. Input is used to give the value to the computer. Okay. So basically print, we can see the value, right? So the same way the computer has to be given some values. So that can be given by the input. And also we saw how we can create a simple calculator, that is doing addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay. And also we learned about how to make a choice. So we learned how we can just make a choice when we have more than two conditions or more than two choices or options. Okay. So this is the way how we are going to make use of it. Okay. And the last one more thing. So let me just share my screen. Yes. So the last one question every time we are going to have it, that is career choice. Okay. So whichever career you go, okay, and in that career, learning technology is very much important. Okay, because that takes the main role. So whichever career you make it, and also make sure that the career choice has to be your choice. Okay, so it is not like when you see it, you will be interested in one particular field, but you will go to another field and then you will regret. That shouldn't happen. Okay, so first you have to decide it what is your choice. Okay, so what you want to become, so then only you can reach or work. For example, you want to become a web developer, or you want to become a IPS officer. Okay, so for example, take a one particular aim on one particular career path, so that you will, until you reach that particular goal, you can just uh, put your hard work on it. Okay, so this is the way how you can just make a decision. And one more time, I'm telling, career choice has to be your choice or your decision. Okay. So yeah, telling this, I'm going to wind up with today's concept. Thank you so much for this particular opportunity, Aniket sir. Sir, you are muted.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Kavya, for this enlightening session. And first of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you for your invaluable contribution to the success of this exclusive fortnightly session on From Basics to Breakthroughs, how coding with Python can shape your career.
Thank you so much.
I think, let's see, if you have any question, please can you raise your hand? I think we have a very shy audience today.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for your time,
Yeah.
wisdom,
Thank you
and
so much.
passion in contributing to the success of this workshop. And we look forward to the possibility of collaborating with you again in future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I really hope you have gained valuable insights into exploring the career into Python. Remember that the journey to a successful career starts with curiosity and the willingness to learn. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. And before we end the session, I would like to request you all to fill a quick survey form. This will help us understand your environment and guide us in serving you better. So I am just sharing a quick survey form link in the chat below. And if you have any further question or need additional support, feel free to reach out at any of our social media handles or helpline numbers. We are here to assist you on your path to success. Thank you for your active participation and dedication to your personal and professional goal. Now we will end the session and we'll all meet soon for another exciting session of PyCamp. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.